A National Clearinghouse on Disability and Exchange and Sky's the Limit Productions presentation. All Abroad, a video to promote the involvement of people with disabilities in international exchange opportunities. In an ever-changing, interdependent global community, the world needs all its citizens. Without you, the world misses out, and you miss out.
Hey, have you imagined volunteering in another country? Have you thought of working in a national park in Costa Rica? Or how about making wheelchairs in Uganda?
What do you think it will be like to study at an accessible university in England?
Would you like to take on more of a challenge and travel to a country that doesn't have the same accessibility as here in the U.S.? You can teach English in Ecuador or spend a summer at a language school in France. You can become fluent in French and make friends with the locals.
I've found that internships abroad are a great way to get more work experience. Build up your resume while having the time of your life exploring the world.
How about applying for a Fulbright scholarship or another research opportunity? Perhaps you could research and write about the sociology of culture in Latin America, the politics of Eastern Europe, or any research topic that interests you.
Imagine yourself living with the host family, learning the language of that country, and truly becoming part of the family.
Can you picture yourself living in a dorm, surrounded by your peers and making friendships of a lifetime?
Or how about having your own apartment on the coast of Thailand, making the changes you need to feel comfortable in a new country?
The opportunities are infinite. The choices are only limited by your imagination.
Why go on an international exchange?
I've seen that international exchange experience has really enabled people with disabilities to enhance their resumes, to increase their language development, to have a keener understanding of cross-cultural issues, and especially in this globalized economy, I think it's real important with people with disabilities to have those types of experience.
I learned so much about what I did. I thought I could not do particular things, and I challenged myself, and this opportunity gave me the chance to try things that I really clearly thought, indeed knew, that I could not do. And there I was, bouncing through the woods, picking up, large pieces of equipment, moving things, finding new ways to be able to do that. And obviously that translated into my life as I went back home, because I started seeing it with new eyes.
My volunteer abroad experience affected my life not only personally, but also on a professional level. I returned from my experience and went for an advanced degree, got a master's degree, and now I'm working on an international level.
To be a black man in a wheelchair who travels to another country and sees how someone else lives is quite a fascinating experience. It's rewarding. It's a humbling experience. It really makes one look at their lives and appreciate what they have. It's about seeing the joy that people take in their lives regardless of what they're facing. It's a challenging experience for people with disabilities all over the world. And if you can share that experience with someone and they can give you something to take back and you can give them something, that makes all the difference in the world.
What about finances?
There are creative ways to fund your international experience. Your Social Security income or vocational rehabilitation benefits may be used towards an international experience that enhances your employability.
For me, with my exchange, a large portion of it was funded through a grant, and then I needed to come up with several $100s, which was a lot for me at the time. And so what I did is I got a bunch of my brothers together and we went door to door collecting cans and bottles.
The company that was sponsoring my international exchange was able to give me a scholarship that covered half the money, and the other half was up to me to raise. And I did a letter writing campaign, kind of a vigorous letter writing campaign that I made fun, and I made a challenge for myself. And people responded to it because it was fun, it was lighthearted, but it also got to the point, hey, I need money, can you give me a hand here? But what if places aren't accessible?
our leader asked us to explore the subway system and see if it was accessible. So me and another friend that was in a chair and 2 other able-bodied friends went off to explore the subway system, and we found out it was definitely inaccessible. And so as we were traveling up and down stairs, we had to recruit lots of people to help, which they were more than willing to help.
Some countries have more accessibility than others, but remember, people with disabilities are living in those countries. It will never be what you were used to at home, but that's part of the adventure.
Sometimes I just went down the street where there was no curb cut, so I just went out a driveway exit and went down the street. Train stations, you know, there are places that obviously weren't accessible, but you just kind of grin and bear it and deal with the situation and have a good time.
Some people may require personal assistance. You may want to come with a one-on-one advocate or assistant, or there are ways to arrange for the support you require in the country of your choice.
But how could I organize my own short-term exchange?
I've seen so many disability organizations have such wonderful experience organizing their own exchanges. For example, we organized an exchange with people with disabilities from Oaxaca, Mexico, and we raised money for 2 or 3 people to go to Oaxaca. While they were in Oaxaca, the friends in Oaxaca had them hosted in families, and they learned about how their organizations work. And then the following year, they raised money and sent a group of 2 or 3 people, and we hosted them here the same as they did for us, and it was a fantastic experience.